Hi, my name is Ashish and this is the new video for Microsoft Azure Infrastructure as a Service exam code 70-533. In this video, we will cover the topic of configuring a network security group of Azure VM. By network security group, I mean enabling and disabling the inbound and outbound ports on the Azure VM, how you are going to connect and which ports you will open or allow to the Azure VM. Okay, so let me just quickly log on to the Azure portal and we'll continue from there. Okay, we are at the portal. This is my test Azure VM that we are using since many videos. Okay, so this is the networking section because NSG is network security group. So we will cover the networking section in detail in future videos. I mean, how to create a VNet, what is a VNet, how you assign a subnet, the address mask, and everything else to the Azure VM. But now we are configuring the network security group. Let's say these are the default rules that you see: allow VNet inbound, load balancer, deny all inbound. This is the by default rules, the inbound rules that gets created when you create an Azure VM. And these are the by default outbound rules that gets created. So you see this rule here, RDP. I specifically created this rule on port 3389 so that I can access this machine using the public internet by using Microsoft Terminal services like MSTSC. If this rule would not have been there, I would not have been able to RDP to this virtual machine. Okay, so let's say this is the virtual machine. If you remember, I just shared. So you remember that as of now you see that I do not have a port 80 or for HTTP or HTTPS connection on this virtual machine. It is not accepting the HTTP traffic on port 80 because there is no inbound rule specified for that port. So if you just go into the overview section and check the public IP address and head that to the browser, it will take its time. I don't think it will succeed because we know that port 80 is not open onto this virtual machine. It will not work. If you click here, this won't work because my HTTP section is not allowed. So I go on to this networking section. I click on add inbound rule. It opens up the console. If you click here, it'll open up the basic settings, and if you will click here, it'll open up the advanced setting. I'm selecting the source any because I do not have any other machine and my IP address is not static, which I'm getting on my personal laptop. So if you are in the production environment, if you know that you want to open up the connection from a particular machine, then you can add this IP address of that machine. But for this purpose, I'm selecting any. Source port range is any, destination is this machine that I'm opening up, and destination any means for any application. I'm opening it for port 80. HTTP protocol can be any, action is allowed, priority it sets by itself. If you want, you can set the priority yourself. Give port name, description is your wish. Click on add. It says it's creating the security rule. Rule name is port 80 HTTP. After the rule is created, you will get the message that it has created the security rule. You see here, the connection is allowed. Now, the simple way to check if the port is open on the destination is you can just do a telnet. We would have done the telnet before. My bad, I didn't do it. If you'll see the telnet, you'll paste the IP address and mention the port 80. It should connect. And if it doesn't, I'll tell you what more you need to do if the port does not get open when you create an NSG for any specific port. I think it won't work. So in some of the scenarios, you have to go on to the virtual machine which you just created and open up the firewall. Okay, so let me just quickly go on to the firewall. Just go on to the advanced settings. Click on inbound rules and create a new rule. I've seen many scenarios in which only opening the port in the NSG on the virtual machine sometimes does not work. So you'll have to open up the inbound firewall rule on the virtual machine. It says allow the connection. Click on OK. You can name it. Click on finish. You see an inbound rule here. If I go back to my telnet, it should work. Fingers crossed. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes also it doesn't work as soon as you update the firewall on the NSG or on the internal firewall of the virtual machine. It is open. If I browse this, the procedure is this. If it doesn't work, don't think that this is not the right procedure. There may be sometime. I think my firewall on my personal laptop for the outbound rule port 80 is blocked. It may be the reason. So that is another troubleshooting, but this is how you create the inbound rule for any specific port on the virtual machine. Port seems to be open. Okay. Though the telnet has not worked, but this is the way how you configure the network security group for any inbound or the outbound port. So I hope this was informative to all of you. Please mention in your comments and feedback in the comment section. Share this video with your teammates, friends, relatives on YouTube, Facebook, and Google Plus, on any social media platform. Please subscribe to this channel to get an update as soon as we upload a new video. Till next time, all the best.